Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a bunch of DC updates for you today, starting off with Superman and Lois. Apparently, the episode titles have been finally revealed, at least partial of them in case. This is coming from Geeks Worldwide. So it says here that episode 1, of course, is going to be called The Pilot. Obviously, this is the introduction to the series, to the characters, it's every pilot. Episode 2, however, is going to be called Heritage, and they believe that Heritage could be an episode about Clark teaching his sons about Krypton and where he or they come from. Episode 3 is the perks of not being a wallflower. They're thinking that this episode focuses on Jordan and John's high school life and their potential Kryptonian powers. Episode 4, however, is going to be called Haywire. Haywire perhaps could feature the Superman animated series villain Livewire, or even the little-known DC hero Haywire, who has a sticking resemblance to Doomguy. And I'm thinking maybe it's more Haywire since they call it Haywire. Livewire wasn't Supergirl, and I don't think she made it, so it could definitely be Haywire. But then again, multiverse, Earth changes, and things like that. A lot of stuff could go around. There are some casting, differentiations after this whole Crisis of Infinite Earths. And there's actually characters from, supposed to be during the Supergirl world now are changed in Superman and Lois. So there could be Livewire, but I think it's called Haywire. Then I think it would probably be Haywire, right? But episode 5 is going to be called The Beacon. Sounds like it will involve Superman finding a signal, possibly one that leads him to some familiar friends. Maybe aliens, something with the alien or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see. Those descriptions right there are just speculation from Geeks Worldwide. Doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen in those titles, but those titles have been revealed. So we'll have to wait and find out more about Superman and Lois. All right, now let's go into the movies. The first movie top of the day is Joker. Yeah, Joker, right? It came out already. It won lots of awards, but now it's nominated for 2 Grammy Awards. This is coming from Luis Fernando. It's been more than a year since Joker took the whole world by storm, but it keeps winning. After triumphant run at the box office and at the Oscars, Joker movie got 2 nominations to the Grammys 2020. Best Score and Best Instrumental Arrangement for the BGM at the background music at the bathroom scene. So as you see right there, music by Hildur. I can't even say her last name, but it was an amazing soundtrack. I've got to say, even the bathroom scene, it was haunting musical score. That's essentially his transformation scene. And so I'm not surprised that it got nominated for Grammys. I thought it was already over, but you know what? Joker keeps on winning. It's still going on. It's continuing to win more awards. And I'm just extremely happy for this awesome film. Now, Joker's arch nemesis, the hero, the Batman, also has some things going on. This is in relation to the behind the scenes. As you know, it's being filmed right now in the UK despite all that COVID, but apparently the Batman Batcave has been spotted. This is coming from, I think it's called Mail Online. Batman crew get creative and building sprawling urban set complete with burnt out buildings, snow-covered ice rink, and the Batcave. As you see some pictures right here, there's transforming the outdoor space into an intricately detailed recreation of Gotham City. Builders have already put out streets, burnt out buildings, and even its very own Batcave for Robert Pattinson's Cape Crusader to venture into. So it's placed in a separate part of the film lot. The Batcave looked magnificent with its immense rock face, which had been decorated with trees and shrubbery to exaggerate how vast the structure was. As you can see here, there's a large pit that built into the makeshift rock face with the floor painted a dark sleet gray to create a sense of foreboding when filming began on the completed set. As you can see here, there's that rock face, and you can see on the sides, this is not a real mountain. Boy, what the lengths they go through for filming this kind of stuff. But While the inside of the Batcave was not visible, however, a large hole had been built into the side of the set piece so that the crew could film Robert inside the lair from multiple angles. So there's a little bit more control within that, and I think that's awesome. That's fantastic, and attention to detail in that case, and a little bit more controlled. I would say it actually makes it cooler. That way, you don't have to worry so much about, I guess, going to places and then closing those places so you can't, shoot those places during COVID. They might as well just build an enclosed set and control the angles, where to put the cameras and things like that in this bat cave right here. So yeah, I'm glad they're still continuously shooting this movie. I think everybody, including myself, could actually be very happy about that, and I can't wait to see more from the Batman as we get closer and closer to probably another trailer. Are we going to get something, another teaser or trailer over at Brazil CCXP World that's coming up next month? I hope so. I hope we get some more stuff coming out of that. All right. The next thing is a movie that is coming out, and that is Wonder Woman 1984. Apparently, there are some more teasers that have come out and a little bit of updates. This is coming from Luis Fernando once again. Vietnam also has got a release date for Wonder Woman 1984, releasing 2 new teasers announcing to open at local theaters on December 18th. And there's also another teaser right here. Vietnam also and December 18th shows plenty of brand new footage of Wonder Woman 1984, and there was really not much, and it's kind of not really loading right now. So, but I will definitely link this in the description down below so you can check out the clips yourself, or if there's anything particularly new. I mean, there's a little bit more of Wonder Woman fighting Cheetah and her taking her off her wings and so on and so forth, and also like kind of how it went from her to her child self split. It bounces back and forth in that scene, which is pretty awesome. So check it out. In any case, it's kind of cool to see this now, knowing full well that it's definitely coming out like next month. I think at this point, now that we're getting teasers and trailers and things like that, we can get a little bit more excited for the film, knowing that it is coming out, and it's not like, we don't think it's going to be delayed anymore. It's finally happening, and I think everyone should be pretty stoked and happy that that's going to happen. In fact, there has been a lot of global release dates, and this is coming from Variety, but reported by Geek Vibes Nation here. There are a ton of dates on here, and I'll link that article in the description if you want to know. Check out which area you are in, and so you'll know when it will come out in theaters for your area. As you can see here, like Hong Kong is December 17th, Australia is December 26th, so on and so forth, all the way going into like Italy's in January 28th, to be determined to all these other countries as well. So they're trying to make this as wide and vast as possible. It's going to be big. It's going to be one of those big blockbusters. Is this going to really churn up a lot of that theatrical business? I don't know, but it is quite a big game changer, as I've said before. In fact, Avengers Endgame director Joel Russo says the release of Wonder Woman 1984 simultaneously on HBO Max and in theaters is just a sampling of what the future will look like. When talking to Joe Russo about the ability to release and distribute content, or when theaters are unable to, this is what he had to say. I mean, the world is disrupting and it's changing at lightning speed, and the pandemic has certainly accelerated that change, Russo says. And I think there are certain stories that are better suited for digital distribution in the off of theatrical distribution, and I think it's becoming more evident what those stories are. And I also think that there's a real specificity to reaching regions, international regions, that digital has an advantage. Also, there's a cost advantage. People can share accounts, where they can get 10 movies in a month for the cost of one film. Not everyone can afford the luxury of going to the theaters, though he points out that the massive audience that comes with some of those popular streaming platforms like Netflix, a record year with new subscribers. So there's a wider audience that you can reach, and there's no metrics of opening weekend box office process by which films get defined inappropriately, because not every movie is designed to crush it at the box office opening weekend, as Russo. And if that's going to hurt the story or the way that the press or the public perceives a movie, then maybe that's not the best way to release that film, right? He cites that HBO Max's decision to release Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max at the same time as a limited theatrical release as a major shift in the game, one that can alter the future as moviegoers attempt to navigate a post-COVID world. He thinks that Wonder Woman 1984, that's just a sampling of what the future will look like. But I think they can supercharge each other. And those that want the theatrical experience can get it. And those that, for other reasons, economic or health or whatever those may be, have the opportunity to see it in their own home. So at least even Avengers Endgame Marvel director Joe Russo also sees the upside of releasing it this way, especially post a COVID world or even during a COVID world. And it's going to be even more likely. He's probably saying this as well. Marvel and Disney are definitely thinking of this as well. You never know. I think even Black Widow may consider this sometime down the line as well, if it doesn't release in theaters after this. I think everybody's just waiting to see how Wonder Woman 1984 will perform with this type of release schedule, being a big blockbuster movie that it is. So that is for Wonder Woman 1984. I am very much excited to get to watch it here in my house on December 25th on HBO Max. All right, now some cool little things that have come from Daniel Rickman, Daniel RPK, a scooper. He has revealed on his Patreon a couple tidbits that you may find very interesting. The first one is Aquaman apparently will have a darker sequel. I want to, pull up DC Verso. They're tuned into Daniel RPK's Patreon and has pulled this out and even shared it with me. Daniel RPK also states that Aquaman 2 will be a darker, more mature than the first film. And it will debut in 2022. I think this is probably, something that I think even James Wan have kind of said before. It's going to go into that direction. And in my theory, my hypothesis, in any case, when they were talking about sequel, I think Jason Momoa and Amber Heard have talked about they want to explore their relationship and maybe their child, right? And so there could be some tragedy that happens within that, or just like Throne of Atlantis, maybe his mother dies. There's going to be some family turmoil. This is going to be essentially a tragic middle film, possibly, so that the third film will come back up. And I hate to always go back to Star Wars, but everybody does this as well. This may be the Empire Strikes Back of the series, right? The first Aquaman is New Hope. Aquaman 2, Empire Strikes Back, and Aquaman 3 possibly Return of the Jedi, something like that. And if that's the case, then I think it will be pretty intriguing. It's be pretty compelling. And I think for people who didn't quite like the lighter mood of Aquaman, could probably be really happy to see that Aquaman 2 is probably a little bit darker in that case. I think it's, in a way of flow, it works very well. I very much enjoyed Aquaman 1. I can't wait to see Aquaman 2, and I think it's going to be one of those emotional impact of Aquaman 2 that will really affect the audience and really affect the fans, and I think it will be an awesome sequel for this, giant blockbuster franchise which is Aquaman. So that's awesome to hear, and I can't wait to hear more about what's going to come for Aquaman 2. Now, the other little tidbit that came from Daniel RPK is an interesting one. I've only heard, things about Ryan Reynolds being Green Lantern from like Grace Randolph and John Aaron Garza. And then we also hear it from Dave the Film Junkie, as his source have said that Ryan Reynolds did want to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Well, now this is coming from Daniel RPK, but not in regards to Justice League 1. But Ryan Reynolds apparently wants to be in Justice League 2. This is again reported by DC Verso, but the source is directly coming from Daniel RPK, the scooper. He says Ryan Reynolds wants to be in Justice League 2. Now he, has to put in there that there is no confirmation of Justice League 2 at the moment. Zack's not even going that route right now. But and anything about Green Lantern showing up in Justice League 1 is still up in the air, although Grace and Garza and Dave and Steven have all said that, at this point in time, Green Lantern is not going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League that's coming out in 2021, next year on HBO Max. But that in consideration, if Green Lantern appears on the Zack Snyder's Justice League shirt, his symbol's there, and Zack is going to plant seeds for the future Defenders of Earth in Justice League, then we will definitely have to have Green Lantern Corps. We definitely need those Green Lanterns. And if he's not going to be in Justice League 1, he's definitely be in Justice League 2. But what's interesting is that Ryan Reynolds, according to Daniel RPK, wants to be in Justice League 2. That means there were conversations of Ryan Reynolds wanting to be Green Lantern. And there's possible that he knows that there is going to be Justice League 2. Or he believes that there probably is going to be Justice League 2 and Ryan Reynolds still wants in on it. And I think it's really compelling that he wants in on it, knowing full well, at least that's what there's being reported, that Deadpool 3 is being written right now, or they're negotiating in terms of Deadpool 3. Now, he may just want that Green Lantern in his hip pocket right now to kind of ante up if, Kevin Feige starts to pull the PG-13 on his Deadpool 3, and maybe he'll just throw it out there. Hey, I'm going to be Green Lantern Justice League 2 unless I get the exclusive with Deadpool 3, but you better make that rated R. So he may just be doing that just like he was trying to talk that way for Justice League 1, or does he really, really want to be in Justice League, to really, really want to kind of give his another take, another chance, a second chance at being Green Lantern after the failed 2011 version. And I've been doing a lot of editorials, and Rise of the Green Lantern was one of my favorite editorials because I do enjoy Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern, and I truly appreciate that he came out away from Wolverine Origins, from that awful Deadpool, and was able to collect himself and actually become the Deadpool that he really wanted to be. He gave himself a second chance, and Fox gave him a second chance as well. And so I think that if he truly wants to be Green Lantern and he truly wants that second chance, then, maybe it's possible that he truly does want to come back as Green Lantern in some shape or form. Whether Zack Snyder wants that to happen or not, that's another story. I have no idea. But if he truly does, then that's awesome to see a little bit of justice, a little bit of closure for Ryan Reynolds. But Justice League 2, I mean, I know that it's, Zack Snyder had kind of said that, that's not quite happening right now. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, he's fine with it. But if it does happen, it'll be quite something indeed. And I hope it does happen. And frankly, I really, if Ryan Reynolds really wants a second chance, I believe everybody deserves a second chance. Let's see it. Let's see what he has in store. But that coming from Daniel RPK is a big surprise to me. Well, not really, because it's going on around, but for him to come out and say that now, I think it's quite compelling. And maybe we should kind of look into it a little bit deeper now. So Ryan Reynolds, Justice League 2, either way, it'd be pretty, either Justice League 2 happening or a Green Lantern, him coming back as Green Lantern. Either case is great. I would love any of that to happen. Any of that to officially happen. So that's quite awesome. All right, let's get into the Ping Pong Flix members questions right now. Reeb Hussein, yes, Chris, there's a basic level of animation, even sometimes locked keyframes when the voiceover artists go for their recordings. Obviously, the animation is then cleaned up, but a lot of work is already done by the time the voiceover starts. Oh, okay, awesome. That's great. So that means that they're pretty much ready to go. And I think it's going to. This is regards to. I'm sorry. This is regards to Young Justice Phantoms that's coming out, and I think it's supposed to come out next year. So having that all put together, that's good. That means it's pretty much getting ready to premiere next year. Eric Hardboiled Entertainment. Here's an interesting idea: the Lazarus Pit, controlled by Ra's al Ghul, is an important part of the Batman lore as a way to cheat death. It's the traditional way Jason Todd comes back as Red Hood. Yeah, definitely that would be. That's also the way that Donna Troy apparently is going to come back as well. So they definitely could use the Lazarus Pit for a lot of different reasons. But I'm thinking you're talking about maybe Justice League. Maybe it could be possible, definitely. Eric Blake, to be honest, it's better to record the dialogue before the animation. Makes it much easier to ensure the character's mouth match the words. Like I said, thank you to Arup Hussein for explaining that. I fairly know very little on the process of which comes first. So thank you for that expertise. Frankie Cruz, I'm not sure if you talked about and answered this before, but have you thought about putting out reaction videos of you watching DC shows like Titans or even Zack Snyder's Justice League, whether you put it out for everyone to see or a members only thing? Yeah, I was thinking about doing that when it premieres, to do either reaction or review of it. I don't know if I'm going to do a live reaction to it. I'm still debating, because you can't, unless you can. I can't play it because I would be at a copyright strike, but I could react to it, I guess, and you guys can watch it on your own and have a commentary on that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do a reaction or just a review? I mean, I could do either or, definitely, and to catch up on all the shows with you guys. I think that would be quite interesting and quite fun. It's like we'll be watching it together, if you will. Jonathan Mueller, hey, Chris, I'm from Brazil. Whoa, well, hi from Brazil. You got a quite a fan base over there for DC. So, how's it going over there? Are you, Jonathan, are able to go to CCXP? Is it in a physical location, or is it because of COVID? Is it just going to be, like a fandom, DC fandom thing? Let me know. Brandon Hayes, great scoop about a possible trilogy. This is what I was hoping for. Mikey Sutton usually has valid scoops, valid points also made about catering to all tastes too. You are correct. I'm just still mad that they mishandled everything in 2017. There's a chance to correct some of the mistakes now. I respect Jason Momoa as an actor. He is cool as Aquaman as teased in BVS, and I'm dying with curiosity to see how Zack portrays the Aquaman mythology in his cut of Justice League, but I hate the quality of the solo film made by James Wan. It's truly terrible. I hope the Snyderverse on HBO ignores the James Wan movie. I have no problem with the Aquaman films existing outside of the continuity of the Snyderverse. Zack knows how to portray the Aquaman mythology much better. Zack had a clear vision for Jason's portrayal, and I think we haven't seen it fully yet. Back in 2017, I pretty much jump shipped when I saw Justice League in theaters. That the Aquaman film put the nail in the coffin for me for DCEU. When I saw it, it was like, what the F is this? It doesn't surprise me that films like Birds of Prey and Shazam and other things have not panned out very well for Warner Brothers. The only thing that has been good was the Joker movie. And from what I hear, David Ayer claims his Suicide Squad film is similar in tone to the style of the Joker. Let's hope the Snyderverse can now breathe fully on streaming, and hope we can also get an air cut of Suicide Squad. If I can get that, I will return to the DCU. I agree about catering to all tastes, but the previous Warner Brother leadership tried to do that at everyone's expense, including the film fans. Let's see what happens come 2021. So like I said before, and Zack Snyder said before, he's only dedicated to a single continuity, which is Man of Steel, BVS, and his Justice League arc. That's all he cares about. So if that is your DCEU, then definitely it's going to be on HBO Max. So, and I think a lot of people return just for the Snyderverse, indeed. Eric Blake, this was so incomparably awesome. Chris, dare to hope that this will lead to more interviews with Zack Snyder's Justice League cast and crew in the future. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. I have no, nothing scheduled, nothing planned. I haven't talked to anybody. If that's what you're trying to cue at, no. So I'm incredibly happy that Zack Snyder came out once again, like I said, but I have no expectations of saying like, okay, now I'm going to get other people. No expectations whatsoever about that. Having Zack on and then having, helping him with the donation is incredibly something that I'm just happy to do. And maybe there will be more, maybe there won't be more, but I don't regret it at all if this is just the single most incredible guest, and it is right now, that I'll ever have on my show. And nothing can take that away. So, but thank you so much, guys and girls, for putting in these questions and comments. If you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content from movies, shows, and video games, please click the like button, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, get a t-shirt down in Teespring down below, and I'll see you next time.